Hello there, welcome to today's drive along here in Guernsey in the Channel Islands. And in today's video I want to give you some helpful advice and information for your driving in Guernsey. This video will be particularly helpful for someone who's maybe never driven in Guernsey before and they're thinking of coming over to Guernsey and hiring a car, or it may be just a refresher for someone who's driven in Guernsey years ago but maybe not experienced it in recent years. So we're currently leaving Wet Bay here in Guernsey. This road is one of the more narrow roads in Guernsey, so I want to do the live camera on board the dash to show you firsthand what the roads look like, which I think will be a benefit on its own. So driving in Guernsey is different. As you can see, the roads are narrow and there are special rules and not all the signs will be familiar to you. So the following information I want to give you just highlights the difference between driving in Guernsey and driving in other countries. So please take time to have a look at the video, and I hope this is a help. Something to look out for when you're driving in these small little roads is things like cyclists and also oncoming traffic. Sometimes there's not really anywhere to get through, so you'll see in a minute if we meet a car, you sort of have to look at each other, decide what you want to do. Is there room his end or is there room my end? In this case I started to reverse back because I had a little lay-by behind me, so it made sense. I actually knew this woman anyway so I had a little chat to her as she drove past. That's Guernsey for you. But you can see, you just got to be courteous. Obviously you don't want to make another road user reverse around a blind corner, so if you've got a safe place behind you, you would reverse. It's about just planning and anticipating what's coming, especially in these very tight roads. So the first thing I really want to talk about was the filter in turn system. Some junctions have filter in turn on a sign and it's also painted on the road. I would advise you approach these with care. At these junctions, all directions have priority and they have equal priority. You must only enter the junction in turn with other vehicles. These are also usually box junctions, so you must not enter the box unless your exit is clear. My advice regarding these filters, if you're not sure whose go it is when you're approaching one, probably err on the side of caution and don't go through. The worst thing that will happen is someone will just wave you on. Just check it's clear yourself, and if it is clear you can go. You're far better to do that than just sail through the filter assuming it's your go, and it's not. Then you have an accident, which does happen. I wouldn't say frequently, but it is something that happens in Guernsey with hire cars where they maybe haven't realised where they are. So approach with caution. If you're not sure, just wait and someone will wave you on. These lanes are absolutely beautiful. See the really nice little cottages. This really is a lovely part of the island. These are typical lanes in Guernsey you'll come across. You'll see some bigger roads in a moment. Something else I think is worth mentioning is the yellow stop lines. A yellow line across the exit of a minor road means stop and give way to traffic on a major road. A yellow arrow painted on the road gives a warning of a yellow line ahead. We've also got yellow no stopping lines. A single yellow line painted along the side of the road or the pavement means that vehicles must not stop for any reason other than to avoid an accident. So I'm aware that some of this information you may already know if you've driven in Guernsey, but it's also, it's just good to recap and just refresh your memory. You notice that there's little speed zones everywhere. See the little signs with their circles, and they've got the red outer band around them. So in Guernsey the maximum speed limit is 35 miles per hour. You'll see these signs dotted everywhere. That is the maximum speed limit in the island. I think it's about 56 kilometers per hour. There are lower speed limits in some areas actually. In and around town the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, but it's worth remembering however that these are maximum speeds, not recommended speeds, and in many places a much lower speed is necessary to drive safely. If you do hire a car in Guernsey, or you bring your car over on the ferry, you may be wondering about the parking situation. Where do you park? So I'm going to speak a little bit about that now. So all public parking in Guernsey is free. However, most on-street parking and car parks in shopping areas are marked as a disc zone, and you must use a parking clock to indicate your time of arrival, day or night. The time limit for that particular disc parking place starts from the time you park your vehicle, and you must not park for longer than the specified period as indicated on the parking sign, unless the period ends after 6 p.m, when you may park until 8 a.m. the following morning. And by the way, something interesting is, having left a disc parking area, you must not repark within the same zone for 30 minutes. And if you're wondering where to get one of these parking clocks, they're available to buy on the ferry, at the Tourist Information Centre, and from the police station for a minimal charge. So we're just heading into a bit of a busier place, St Martin's, and you'll see the yellow lines on the right side of the road, which I was talking about before, so no parking along there. Bit busier now, maybe coming up. We've got the yellow line here to stop at, so you'll start becoming familiar with things I mentioned as you drive in Guernsey and also in the video. Just a word about parking at night as well. Vehicles parked at night must show lights unless they are parked in a disc zone or an approved parking place. Single parking lights are not allowed. They must not park facing oncoming traffic. So there's a little tip for you. So let me know in the comments below if you come across anything that I haven't mentioned. Of course, this list isn't everything. I'm going over the main things I think which will help, but I'm sure you've experienced things in Guernsey. If you can help anyone else, leave a comment giving someone a warning about maybe something you come across which give you a bit of a shock, to help other people. Now of course, having an accident in Guernsey isn't something we want, but having a car crash or a car incident does happen. Now the thing to do with these accidents, if it involves personal injury or serious damage, it must be reported to the police within 24 hours. Okay. Minor accidents not involving injury need not be reported, provided the names and addresses of those concerned are exchanged. But if you are in any doubt about what you should do, then you can contact the Guernsey police. Vehicles are prohibited from some of the streets in the centre of town, such as High Street, without a permit. There are strict regulations about driving on the beaches during the summer without a permit as well. Car parks are provided at most of the beaches and headlands, and the vehicles must not be parked on any of the grass areas. As you have seen, many roads in Guernsey are narrow lanes, and they've got high hedges and granite walls. You must be ready to meet horses, cattle, cyclists, pedestrians and other drivers who may just be as lost as you. Please drive courteously. Few junctions away from the primary routes are signposted. Visibility is actually quite poor at many of the junctions. Some have convex mirrors to help motorists, but they make vehicles look further away, so just be aware of that. Care is necessary at all times. Also, drinking and driving do not mix, and the police can do random checks at any point. Anyway, I wish you a very pleasant and safe drive in Guernsey. If you like the stuff on this channel, you want to see more stuff about Guernsey, remember to subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot of stuff coming up, all to do with Guernsey. Any comments, let me know. Until next time, take care. and I'll see you soon.